Isang bulan na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongo ni bibo ko matagni ke misa po. Niya na isang bulan na sero ko ni sana. Chumena kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang bulan, oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po?
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may na ono kinadiwa na Bula FM.
Ang betul sile.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Tonight, Fiji TV granted 12-year operating license. Local doctors want changes in indemnity clause. And Sadelpa says there's no disunity within the party. Fiji Television Limited has been granted a 12-year license by the government after getting only 6-month extension since 2011. Chanel Stephen reports the new license comes with conditions.
Nuzaf Farid, the chief executive of Fijian Holdings Limited, which owns Fiji TV, was more than happy receiving the 12-year license. Minister for Communications Ayaz Syed Kayum says he expects more from the media outlet.
We put other, for example, conditions as we can do under the law. That is putting a lot of emphasis on local content. Local content in the development of television is very critical. Previously we have seen that when specific hours of local content has been put in, people have tried to just fulfill that by just showing local sports. Local content is not just about local sports.
We are extremely happy. Very excited. Until this morning we were not aware that we are going to get this much. We were expecting at least 2 to 3, 4 years. But this is a good step forward. Staff has been extremely happy as soon as I said that I'm going to attend this one. And going forward, as Minister for Communication highlighted, yes, for compliance as well as for financial purpose, for strategic reasons, Fiji TV has to increase its local content.
Farid says the new license means Fiji TV can confidently invest into new programs and explore local content.
Because right now in Fiji we don't have any reality shows as such. We are working on few. So at least within the next 12 months, before we get into the digital platform in a serious way, you will see a lot of content, local content.
Syed Kayum also handed over the digital broadcast spectrums allocated for Fiji TV. This will allow the company to switch over when digital TV is launched.
As with the other television broadcast license holders, what will happen with Fiji Television is that as soon as the switchover from analog to digital switchover takes place, this license will then be varied to reflect the digital spectrum.
The minister says the company will also be given time to prepare itself for digital TV. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Fiji College of General Practitioners hopes the indemnity clause, which is compulsory for private doctors, can be reviewed in the long term. Under the Fiji Medical and Dental Practitioners Decree 2010, all general practitioners are required to have indemnity insurance. Christopher Chand reports.
Private doctors apply annually for a practicing license from the Fiji Medical Council. To get this, they must have mandatory insurance cover.
We've always felt that it should be a choice, a personal choice. Right now the decree is that it is compulsory for all doctors, and because it is compulsory, obviously the issue of affordability that has been raised. In the long term, we would like to review the decree and ask its relevance for compulsory indemnity for all doctors.
The insurance is expensive and is only provided by firms based abroad whose premiums have been increasing.
Our concern is that these rises to the operations of general practitioners invariably going to be passed on to the patients. Somebody's got to pay for it, and invariably our patients pay for it.
Dr. Fatiaki says he's had discussions with the Minister for Health, Chone Usamate, at the conference on Friday.
No GP has ever been sued for any malpractice. All cases of suits that have been taken, that have been successfully gone through the court system have been with hospital doctors.
The indemnity medical insurance ensures doctors are in a position to meet financial consequences of any legal actions. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Ratunenga Malalambalawu's election as president of the Social Democratic Liberal Party is to look after party affairs. General Secretary Pio Tambaiwalu says party leader Rote Mumukepa maintains control of SEDELPA's political front. Savara Tambua has more.
Ratunenga Malalambalawu is a suspended parliamentarian who now takes over the running of the Social Democratic Liberal Party. General Secretary Pio Tambaiwalu says his new appointment has no negative impact on the party's political aspirations.
Party president is a choice of the party supporters through the General Assembly. So they have quite very distinctive roles. Yeah, so I think it's also good for the party because then the party leader can really go on and the work on the parliamentary issues. It's quite a full-time work for that, and we, as the party itself, then go ahead and put up our structures on the ground. Yeah? So that's very critical for us.
Tambaiwalu has also denied that Ratunenga didn't have the support of Rote Mumukepa when votes for the president were cast at yesterday's SEDELPA annual general meeting.
There was no such, as you said, disagreement from the party leader, as it were. And it's a normal party processes in the AGM. Yeah? And everyone understood that process. So as General Secretary, I did not receive any other views rather than the process of elections. Yeah?
The General Secretary adds the election followed the party constitution and there is no question of factions or disunity in SEDELPA. FBC News understands Ratunenga is in Taveuni at the moment. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Land issues and indigenous rights are topical issues coming up at public consultations by the National Security and Review Committee. The committee believes that lack of information delivered to Fijians, mostly in rural areas, is the reason these issues are coming to the forefront of public consultations. Savara Tambua has more.
National Security and Review Committee would like to address all issues raised during consultations in the new National Security and Defence Strategy.
When you come to urban areas, to the cities and towns, the concerns was more to social problems like law and order, unemployment and poverty. So it is interesting to note that, but it is their genuine concern. So we have taken that on board, and those are some of the issues that we would like to address when we develop the security strategy of our nations.
Committee Chair Esala Teleni says all permanent secretaries will be invited to share their views on the submissions made before end of the month.
From that discussion or any suggestions or any amendments that come up during that workshop, we hope that will be contribute to the strengthening and also to the empowering of the security strategy before it is presented to the National Security Council.
The Defence Review Committee tasked to put in place a National Security and Defence Strategy have been given until August to finalize their report. They are currently putting together a draft of the new strategy. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Now, Fiji's location along the Pacific Ring of Fire makes it vulnerable to earthquakes. Eleanor Turangaview takes a look at whether Fiji is prepared to deal with such a disaster if and when it strikes.
Earthquake is another incident that is waiting to happen. If you look at statistics, it has happened all around us. East Coast of America, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Solomons, Vanuatu, Tonga, Samoa. So I'm just wondering whether Fiji is next on line.
The station in Fiji was in the 1950s. Minor earthquakes have been felt 2 to 5 times a week, particularly Nyandoi in Onilau in the Lau group.
After my visit to Nepal, I was just thinking whether we are prepared if an earthquake of that magnitude, to treat or address casualties.
Naidu is proposing that a unit be set up to respond especially to earthquakes, something like the State Emergency Services in the US. Currently, the Mineral Resources Department gathers earthquake information, while DSMAC deals with responding to disasters.
The message would like to convey regarding earthquakes is the need for all of us to be prepared at all times, because we live in an area which is prone to earthquakes, because of the nature of the geology that we have, and also because of our location in the region.
There are currently 6 earthquake monitoring stations that gather seismic activity. This information is then given out to authorities and the public. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, from a farm in Singatoka to a successful scaffolding company, that's tonight's Successful Fijian.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Welcome back to FBC News. Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says there is now a high level of engagement on the issue of the new flag. Sayed Qayyum says some of these people may not have participated before are now coming forward to have a say. He says people are giving their opinions, they are giving their on what they like and what they don't like on the 23 shortlisted flags.
As you know, there's a number of we have media sort of programs and publicity around it. We have talkback radio. Where people are saying, making various comments on it. Some people have said, can you extend it? We want to have more time. Others have said we want a particular flag.
The submissions on the flags close on Tuesday. The Duavata Police Northern Crime Prevention Carnival in Lambasa ended on a high last night. The week-long festival was a joint effort between police and the community to promote better relations and reduce crime. Julie Vatuwaliwali with the story.
The Fiji Police Force continues to work towards reducing crime, and one of its major campaigns is to work hand-in-hand with the public. The Duavata Police Northern Crime Prevention Carnival, which began 3 years ago, is one of the success stories of the force.
The friendly North should also be a crime-free North. It is never too late, and we know from experience that only through police and the community partnership that we can tackle and prevent crime.
Closing the carnival celebrations last night, Praveen Kumar said the government has invested heavily in better equipping the police force.
Government continues to increase its budget each year in order to address crime, and we have invested heavily this year in technology to help the police solve crimes, coordinate their efforts, fight international crime, and keep people safe in their beds at night.
The Duavata Carnival this year featured 8 queens, 6 kings, 3 turanga, 4 teens, and 5 princesses. Miss Tavioni Elena Ramambuke won the main title of Miss Duavata 2015. The first runner-up was Miss Sangani, Torika Maimbaurado, and second runner-up was Miss Lambasa, Mary Angeline Naidu. Josefa Ravula, Mr. Tanwa Electrical, was crowned King Duavata 2015. The carnival this year raised $96,450 in charity. Julie Vatuwaliwali, FBC News.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation hosted its Park Jam in Nandi last night. A huge crowd turned up to watch their favorite FBC personalities on stage. The event, which is hosted for the public free of charge, had music groups like Tino's Band, Kerin Damundamu, Vongake Valanisau, and featured Fiji's reggae hit band Rustrata. People turned up in numbers to watch the show at Koroivolu Park. The Park Jam is an annual family event that has gained popularity. Well, from a farming background to a successful equipment hire and scaffolding company, tonight's Successful Fijian segment looks at Frinker's Hire Fiji Limited. Here's Chanel Sivan's report.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
60-year-old Abhimanyu Krishna has always dreamt big. Having worked as the marketing manager for a fastening and scaffolding company, he saw the potential to open his own business.
At one stage, a customer came and they were after a big shed. Since there was no other company apart from Porlecro, the prices that time was very, very high, which we local people could not afford. And that was the turning point in my life. At that point in time, I decided to start my business.
Originally from a sugarcane farm in Lomawai, Singatoka, he now owns a $1 million scaffolding company through his vision and bold decisions.
I went and saw Mr. Vijay Raghavan from Raghavan Construction. He was a very helpful person in my life. And he told me that when I was a young man and I could start a business, and if there was any help, he was willing to help me. So he helped me a lot. And then I went to the bank. I could afford a loan. And then I started this company, Frinkos Fiji Limited.
The name Frinkos also has a story behind it.
Frinkos means F for Fijians, R for Rotumans, IN for Indians, C for Chinese, and OS for others.
From a young age, Krishna always valued the importance of education, graduating with a civil engineer's diploma from the Fiji Institute of Technology.
Without education, you cannot do anything. Farming is a very big background where you can get money slowly, but there's always money there to go to school, go to universities. Parents can get loans through the cane farms, and you can use that money for education. Like my parents did the same. We didn't have money, but my parents took a loan from banks to educate us.
The businessman says real potential today lies in agriculture, only if young Fijians can commit, aim high and become less dependent on their parents. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Successful Fijians was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, Fijian football wonder boy Roy Krishna scores against own club. And new winners for Bula FM Marist Volleyball.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulavanaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome to FBC Sports. Fiji football wonder boy Roy Krishna is hoping his performance for the national side against his club Wellington Phoenix will lay the platform for the season ahead. The Lambasa man scored a goal in Fiji's 2-1 loss, but his performance was outstanding, with Krishna showing why he is so highly regarded by the Knicks. Indra Singh has more.
At him and Glenn Moss, and he plays it through Glenn Moss, and Roy Krishna follows through.
This was Roy Krishna at his best, and despite scoring against his own employers, the striker is hopeful the showing would have impressed his club coach Ernie Merrick.
Pass through, and Roy Krishna.
Well, of course, as a striker, you have to score goals, and I proved my point that I really work hard, and hopefully Ernie sees that. And it's a long preseason to go, but hopefully I can get my spot back in the starting 11.
It was as Roy Krishna turns away as he.
Krishna's deft footwork and speed, along with his footballing skills, was a delight to watch for the big Fijian faithful who braved the super cold to watch the match.
As Roy Krishna races away.
Oh no, he's a great keeper, and he's one of the best in the A-League, and to get a goal against him was awesome.
Fijian coach Juan Carlos Buzetti says Krishna is a rare talent and soon could be headed to higher honours.
But it's difficult to play against your own team. But anyway, I think he reached a level which is ready for maybe.
And despite the 2-1 loss, the Fijians playing an international match after a lapse of nearly 3 years put in a solid shift.
Of course, I'm proud of my boys. They did really well, especially our midfield. We compact really well. We tried to stop their midfield because there was the main target, and I'm proud of my boys.
In front of a packed Lovala, Fiji didn't get intimidated by the mere fact that the Phoenix are made up of professionals.
Correct, I agree with you. I think we also been unlucky in many chances, but the goalkeeper was absolutely outstanding. No, they made great saves against Roy and against Osea.
Now the focus shifts to Bar, where the two teams meet again on Tuesday. And after the showing by Krishna and the Fijians yesterday, we can expect another titanic battle. Interesting, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Fiji under-23 side for the Pacific Games will be named tomorrow. The side beat the Wellington Phoenix Premiers 2-1 last night, and coach Carlos Bazzetti says this was a good hit-out. This was their first game together after the inclusion of the Fiji under-20 reps who recently returned from the World Cup.
It's a boost before we go to PNG. It's very important for us. So we are very happy with them too, because now the confidence is different. No, if we can do the same job again in Ba, then before we go the follow day to PNG, that would be a necessary.
The return matches between the Fiji and Phoenix teams will take place on Tuesday in Ba. Amevoto News scored 2 goals to help Nandi defeat Suva 2-1 in the last round of the Rewa Galaxy Premier League at the ANZ Stadium. The win stamped the Jet Setters' reign as league champions. The 2 top teams in the competition have qualified for next season's OFC Champions League. Nandronga thrashed Tailevu Neita Siri, while in the Senior League, Nesinu and Rakiraki played to a 0-0 draw in the first round of the promotion series. The second round of the Senior League Promotion Series will be held next weekend. Well, Rebels caused a major upset in the 8th Bula FM Maris Volleyball Tournament Final, defeating host Maris Red by 3 straight sets. The Rewai-based club exacted their revenge after losing to the same opponents in last year's final.
Lower, Ava, and the naval officer seals the deal for the Rebels. The champion of the Bula FM, Maris.
In the women's final, Maris Saints defeated Brewers also by 3 straight sets.
Pine, Chico.
Rebels collected $4,000 for winning the men's title, while Maris Saints walked away with $3,000 for the women's title. The Lami Darts Association held its first tournament of the year today at the Suva Bowling Club. Financial difficulties have been a major setback for the association in trying to promote the game in the country. Chalindau Dakadaka has more.
The Lami Darts Association has players who have won every local major title on offer, and they all turned up at the Suva Bowling Club to test their skills against each other.
There's new players, there's senior players who actually played here as well. We've got Fiji Open champs, Fiji national champs playing. So it's surprising, when you actually have the sport and then it's a mystery game and then you don't know what to expect. But yeah, for the senior players, they're performing pretty well.
Funding these tournaments has been the biggest hurdle for the association, and they are reaching out to local business houses to help grow the game.
We've been going out trying to get sponsorships, trying to build the sport. We've been getting new players in, promoting everywhere. We've got leagues going on, trying to move to the business houses, then having tournaments and then inviting people over just to see them come. We've got people from bowling club interested now. So yeah, hopefully the sport actually grows, because
the next event on the Lami Darts calendar will be the singles tournament next month, where they hope to draw in a bigger pool of players as well as support from local sponsors. Talent Odakavak, FBC Sports.
Fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. A trough of low pressure lies to the east of the Solomon Islands and extends to the east of Vanuatu. Another trough lies over Tuvalu and extends southeastwards over to the south of Tokelau to the north of southern Cooks. Looking at the temperatures, Lambasa had the highest temperature at 30 degrees and Suva once again recorded the lowest at 24 degrees. Our forecast to midnight for tomorrow, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. And the outlook for Tuesday, cool weather is expected. Recapping tonight's top stories again, government grants Fiji TV a 12-year license and asks for more investments in local programs. Attorney General says there's now more engagement from Fijians on the new flag. And doctors want a review of the indemnity clause provisions. On to our poll question this week. Are you satisfied with the services provided by municipal councils? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
घर संसार में आपका स्वागत है। आपका अपना छोटा सा स्वर, जहाँ प्यार भरे रिश्ते पलते हैं, जहाँ हेल्थी रहने की सलाह दी जाती है, जहाँ हम आपको और भी सुंदर बनाते हैं और जहाँ स्वाद की सौगात भी है। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। सोमवार से शुक्रवार 9 से 12 तक रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर घर संसार में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना